So, author Jane Heller set out to have some fun with the idea of bringing the sexes together in her new best-selling novel, Female Intelligence. Good morning, Jane.
Hi, Julie.
Welcome back to the show.
Nice to be here.
It was about a year ago that I talked to you about your last book, Name Dropping, which was a great book. I read that one.
Thanks.
And I just started this one, Female Intelligence. But for those who don't know, what's the basic premise of this book?
Well, I mean, women and men don't communicate very well. I mean, we all know this, in spite of the Mars-Venus books on the market. And I mean, you could read Mars and Venus, Eat Chicken Soup for the Soul on Tuesdays with Maury, and still have trouble communicating with a member of the opposite sex. So I thought, why not write a story about an expert on the subject, who's written a bestseller, in fact, on the subject, but her own personal life is a mess.
Who is Dr. Lynn Wyman?
Dr. Lynn Wyman is a linguist. She teaches men how to become fluent in the language of women speak.
What does women speak in your book?
Well, she believes that since there are more women on the planet than there are men, it behooves men to learn our language. So she teaches them, for example, how to say, I'm sorry, instead of, I didn't do anything, or I don't feel well, I think I'll make an appointment at the doctor, instead of, I'm fine. Or if they're lost in the car, they can say, I'm lost. I think I'll ask that person over there for directions. You know, that's the type of thing she does.
Well, some people might say, well, this sounds kind of like male bashing. But the book really isn't?
It's not. It's an equal opportunity basher. That's what I call this book. Because, I don't want to give the plot away, but as the story goes along, you find out that women are not so hot at communication either. If you ask any of the men on this set, they will say that it's women who have a problem communicating, because women often say one thing and mean another, which I call double speak in the book.
Ah, well, I was going to say, if you ask most men in this room, they'll probably say the women always want to talk. Let's talk about our feelings.
Exactly.
And the men don't want to talk.
We want to rehash. I mean, if my husband comes home, I want to talk about every little thing, and he wants to just get in the car and drive to North Dakota. You know, I mean, men want to sort of crawl in a hole, and women want to go on and on and on.
We want details.
Details.
That's the thing. But what I understand, a funny incident actually sparked the idea for this book.
It did. I was coming out of a movie theater, and I overheard a married couple trying to have a conversation. And the wife said, so Harry, what did you think of the movie? And Harry grunted. And she said, Harry, I asked you, what did you think of the movie? And he shrugged. And she said, Harry, why can't you talk to me? And he said, about what? And I remember thinking, you know, this is a perfect example of the kind of disconnect that goes on every day between men and women. And no, not every man is a blockhead like Harry, but there are some Harrys out there, and female intelligence is for them, or the women that are involved with them.
Now, I mean, it's a satirical look at this communication problem, but do you think after reading this book we're supposed to learn something, or is it just for fun? It's just for fun.
It's for fun. I mean, the moral of the story is that men and women each have different conversational styles, and that we really need to accept it, and above all, keep our sense of humor. That's really what it is. It's lighthearted fiction.
Now, the last time we spoke, I read something about Julia Roberts. Her production company optioned your other book, Sis Boom Ba. What's going on with that?
Yeah, that was the sixth book, and her production company optioned it for feature film, and it was very exciting, and I have no idea whether it will ever see the light of day.
Tough process.
You know, we never know, but there's a lot of interest in female intelligence, so maybe that one will sell too.
Jane Heller, the book is called, as you just said, Female Intelligence. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thanks, appreciate it.